a lot of cool stuff. We've done stand up in Scotland together. I'm in France actually right now per his recommendation, because he was like, Will, you need to go to a place where you can't get what you want. And when you're in New York, you can basically go get whatever you want at whatever time. And France closes whether or not you like it. And I'm experiencing that a lot
Yeah,
right
in
now.
spades.
Yeah, the most exaggerated version of what Brendan was talking about I've experienced for the last like 8 weeks. But it's been a really great experience. And, we wrote a book together, The Power Bible, and that was a really awesome time. And he's kind of been my sensei, as I call him.
Wow. Well, that's some interesting stuff, and some of that I didn't know. And I don't know if you know, William, but we've actually talked about you a couple of times on the podcast. In fact, Brendan told me the story about how you ended up in France because of his recommendation, and I found that story as he told it fascinating, because it was, and I don't want to, I'm probably going to screw this up, Brendan, correct me if I do, but the gist of it was to go somewhere where you couldn't rely on your primary tool for survival, which is communication, and then having to come up with different ways just to get stuff done, and how that would impact actually who you are or who you can become as a person. Is that sort of consistent?
1,000,000%. I was kind of reading a lot of the philosophers that Brendan was telling me about, like Baudrillard and Deleuze. We had both gone to Cannes to pitch separate TV shows. And when I was there, I was just having a terrible time because I just couldn't get food at any time. I was so frustrated. And it's just so funny that like I choose to move back here willingly after having basically spending the entire time complaining to Brendan about like, this isn't New York. I can't wait to get back to New York. And then
the whole country
just
shuts
leaving
down.
my life. Yeah, and this lockdown has been kind of a really great experience for me in a way in which I didn't really expect. It's given me an appreciation for freedom that I didn't have before. This year I've been kind of going on this kind of path of like self-ritual, and I'd wanted to do something. I'm half African American, and I wanted to kind of have a day where I commemorate like my faceless ancestors, the hundreds of them that like just never experienced freedom. And, we talk about it, but then whenever they did the lockdown here, we have drones that check whether or not we're out for more than an hour. There's 100,000 police officers that have been dispatched throughout the country. I've seen them hassle everybody. You have to fill out a form. You have to write your place of birth. And so it felt really, really intense. And for the first time in my life, I really felt the loss of freedom and what that kind of felt like, and the ability to not kind of do what I wanted to do. And that's given me more of an appreciation for it.